Everyone, I am Kenya and welcome to my YouTube channel. So lately we've been hearing so much about Donald Trump's plans for immigration. Well, at least I've been hearing a lot about his plans for immigration. So I want to try to quickly break it down in layman's terms what his plans are. So, what are Donald Trump's proposed immigration policies? Donald Trump's proposed immigration policies for a potential term include several controversial measures aimed at significantly tightening both legal and illegal immigrants. So key aspects of his plan are, number one, Trump has promised what would be the largest mass deportation program in U.S. history, giving local authorities greater power to arrest undocumented immigrants. Number two, he proposes ending the constitutional guarantee of birthright, which grants U.S. citizenship to anyone born on American soil. Number three, Trump plans to reinstate and expand travel bans on certain Muslim-majority countries, similar to those he implemented in 2017, citing national security concerns. And this is why it was a shocker to see so much support for Trump during the 2024 presidential election from the Arab community. In the 2024 U.S. election, Donald Trump received significant support from Arab Americans in key areas such as Dearborn, Michigan, which traditionally leaned more Democratic. His gains were driven by disillusionment with the Democratic administration's policies, particularly in the Middle East. For example, in Dearborn, where Arab Americans form a large portion of the electorate, Trump secured about 42% of the vote, a notable increase from 2020. This shift highlights frustrations over issues like dissatisfaction with the Biden administration's handling of the Middle East conflict. Number four, he suggested introducing an ideological screening process for visa applicants to ensure alignment with American values. Okay. Number five, Trump's policies advocate for restricting regular immigration, including family-based immigration categories focused on merit-based criteria. So, merit-based criteria immigration is a system in which immigrants are selected based on their qualifications. So how does one qualify for merit-based immigration? Applicants earn points on criteria such as education, age, language skills, and work experience. Countries like Canada and Australia use this model. Emphasis is placed on having job offers in industries facing labor shortages or possessing skills that benefit the economy. Immigrants may be assessed on their potential to invest or contribute economically, such as starting a business or filling critical labor gaps. And from my knowledge, most immigrants do pay taxes, so I feel like that is contributing to the economy, but that's just my opinion. Proficiency in the host country's language is often a significant factor in merit-based assessments. So the goal is to phase out family-based immigration, which is basically family reunification, which allows citizens or permanent residents to sponsor relatives. Now, I wonder how this will affect men that travel overseas and bring back wives. The main type of immigration is humanitarian immigration, which focuses on refugees and asylum seekers based on humanitarian needs. Now, this will cause other countries to experience an overflow of asylum seekers instead. So who will Donald Trump's immigration policies affect the most? Donald Trump's proposed mass deportation policies will primarily affect undocumented immigrants, especially those from Latin American countries. The most targeted group include individuals who entered the U.S. illegally or overstayed visas, as well as recipients of temporary protective services, also known as TPS, from nations like Haiti, El Salvador, and Honduras. His plans also involve revoking TPS protections, potentially impacting nearly 700,000 people, and focusing on immigrants with criminal records, which disproportionately affects Black and Latin communities due to systemic biases in the justice system. Now, anyone else find it strange that Donald Trump will punish those individuals that have criminal records by possibly deporting them back to their countries when he too is a criminal and has a criminal record? Crazy times that we live in, aren't they? Beyond humanitarian concerns, these policies could lead to significant economic disruption, particularly in industries like agriculture where undocumented labor is prevalent. Mass deportation could destabilize local economies, especially in rural areas, leading to higher food prices and potential labor shortages. In the 2010 U.S. presidential election, Donald Trump received about 32% of the Latino vote nationally, according to exit polls and studies. Support among Cuban Americans in Florida and Latino voters support for Donald Trump in the 2024 election continued an upward trend seen in previous elections, with his policies and campaign strategies appealing to various segments of the Latino population, like Mexican Americans in Texas. The support was especially strong among Latino men, with Trump reportedly securing nearly half of their votes in 2024. Key factors influencing Latino support included, number one, many Latino voters resonated with Trump's emphasis on jobs, economic growth, and tackling inflation. Rising cost of living and economic concerns were central to his campaign, which attracted working class voters, including a notable share of Latino men. Number two, while his immigration policies have been controversial, some Latino voters, particularly those concerned with border security and lawful immigration processes, supported his stance. This reflects a broader diversity of opinion within the Latino community about immigration. Some Latino voters felt disconnected from Democratic campaigns, citing a lack of tailored outreach and messaging. For instance, there was criticism that Democrats' policy proposals were too incremental to address pressing concerns effectively. Conservative values on issues like family, religion, and entrepreneurship also played a role, appealing to more traditional or religiously inclined segments of the Latino population. In conclusion, this is a brief breakdown of Trump's new immigration policies for his new America. Many people will be affected by these new policies. However, the only thing that we can do is wait until he takes office on January 6, 2025, and see how it all plays out. As I sit here and think about Donald Trump's immigration policies and how his policies will affect roughly 700,000 people, one thing I know for sure is that people aren't going to just easily surrender. People are not going to want to be deported, especially those who risk their lives to come to this country, if you get what I'm saying. And I think about how they have ICE detention camps, and I think about how there is big money in creating like concentration camps for immigrants. It's making me think of like the Nazi regime, when a lot of Jewish families were hiding out, and they were hiding out from the Nazis. And there was a book called A Diary of a Young Girl, which documents a young girl and her family and how they hid out for almost 3 years until they were discovered. And I believe the whole family was sent to a concentration camp and died except for one person. And this is making me think about that. Not that they're going to die at the concentration camp like they did during Nazi Germany, but it's similar. And that's why when they say that history repeats itself, it really does. It's the same playbook, just a different group of people. I suggest you watch the Anne Frank story. I believe it's on Netflix. They turned it into a movie just to get a gist of what is to come in this country. So with that being said, if you've made it to the end of this video, I would like to thank you guys for coming to kick it with me today. Subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next YouTube video. Toodles.